Good morning, everyone. Just pop in my Facebook up so I can see who's joining me. Okey, come on. There we are. Here we are. Alrighty, I'm just going to get my candle. Okay. Hey Dee, thanks for that lovely testimonial that you put in the group. You're still awake? Yes, we've got a great one tonight for you, today for me. We are clearing karma through the ancestral line. Karmic locks. Voila. Just an amazing session for you, Dee. It'll be uploaded into the portal of Unleashing Prosperity. Curses, hexes, spells, jinxes, all to do with your money and finances. So yes, we have just had a very powerful Unleashing Prosperity call. So yes, I am wide awake and on full throttle this morning. So you're going to have an amazing journey today. Hello, Becky. Hey, Cara. And good morning again, Dee. So today we are, let's see if anybody else joins, but people will see this on the YouTube channel. We are doing clearing karma. So some of you might not know what karma is. So let me just give you a brief overview. Karma is the law of cause and effect. And I was talking about this in Unleashing Prosperity with certain things. Now, karma is something that keeps on repeating. You forgot to attend live. To be honest, there was a lot of self-sabotage this morning on the call. I think some people couldn't even get on the call. Some people forgot, you know, all of this type of thing. So once it's uploaded into the portal, then you can go and do it. But yes, how curses were manifesting in people's life and finances and stuff like that. Anyway, back to what I'm focusing on now with you ladies. So karma is repeating patterns. It can show up in different areas of your life. Karma can show up on the spiritual level. Karma can show up on the mental level. Karma can show up on the physical level, and karma can show up on the emotional level, right? I'm not going to lie, you know, sometimes we forget that we are basically sort of 4 pillars to our multi-dimensional being. So karma can show up in different areas of our multi-dimensional being. Sometimes we just think karma is happening to us and it's painful situations. No, karma can actually be emotional. Have you ever come across similar people that trigger you in your emotions? That can be karma to look at. Situations, that can be karma to look at. You know, I know one person that, oh my God, the karma that this poor guy keeps going through, it's actually a friend of the family. But this guy, like every job that he ends up going for, it's like he has real issues with either the manager being an absolute narcissist to him or narcissistic jobs that he ends up in. It's karma, you know, bless him. Physical karma as well. Lots of different things. So physical karma, physical as in like health and well-being. So sometimes I can go into somebody's past lives, into their Akashic Records, and see that the issue that they're carrying in this life on a physical level is actually karmic debt being paid back from a past life, right? So there's stuff around that we have to cleanse and clear. you know, I actually really enjoy working with karma, because I think with karma you like the positive benefits from clearing that karma is actually quite magical. And sometimes when you clear that karma, you actually don't know 100%. I don't know what the cause and effect is going to be. And when you clear that karma, where it shows up in different areas of your life and where it's cleared, is really magical. And I think that's probably what my inner child absolutely loves. You know, the magic around clearing something um, can be really special. And it's like, you know, winning, like for me it's a bit like winning the lottery, or having an amazing Christmas present. So, you know, yeah, I get really excited about clearing karma. Hello, Nicole. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Shani. I was going to message you later and say, how are things going with you? Hi, Diana. Nice to see you here. Hope you're well. I'm coming down to Melbourne soon. I don't know if Belle told you. Um, so yeah, karma's an interesting one to play around with. So karma, when we talk about karma, people think karma is like, oh, can be a bad thing, right? No, 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 no. Karma is a good thing, um, because karma is actually the law of cause and effect. That's all it is. So what you put out under the law of the universe, and we have laws. We have spiritual laws, we have mystic laws, and we have scientific laws. So the law of gravity is a scientific law. The law of manifestation is a spiritual mystic law. The law of cause and effect is a spiritual mystic law. Now, the easiest way that I explain the law of cause and effect, and you know, sometimes we can break laws, sometimes we can bend laws, and sometimes laws are set in stone, like the law of gravity is set in stone, ain't happening, right? You know, we talk about the apple falling from the tree, but you know, we do, you know, I'd like to bend the law of gravity 100%, but that law ain't bending, no way, unless it's a facelift and Botox, right? I'm gonna make you laugh because this is who I am, right? But the law of cause and effect is one, I believe, my belief is that you can't break, you can't really bend, in all fairness, in time. So if you imagine a tennis ball, all your thoughts, so your mental, all your emotions, all your thoughts, your emotions, all your beliefs, your energy, what your energy is. So if your energy is high vibration, as in, you know, like joy, so I'm making you laugh, right? So like joy, for instance, laughter, fun, shits and giggles, right? If that is all in an energy ball, that is you. And what you're putting out to the universe, right, magnetizes and comes back exactly at that same frequency, right? So it's like if you go into like a meeting with your boss, right, and you are fearful, nervous, you're putting that energy out into the meeting with the boss. The same energy will come back to you. Like attracts like. Any relationship, what you put out will be magnetized back into you. And that's the law of cause and effect, right? So if you're putting especially manifestations out into the universe from a certain frequency, it will come back. That's why when we're talking about things like law of manifestation, you know, they say that you want to get in, when you want to be manifesting, you want to be in a good headspace, right? What they're saying is you want to be in a great vibration, because what you put out comes back in. So that's a little bit about law of karma, law of cause and effect. So that's why, you know, gratitude works very well with the law of cause and effect, because what you're putting out to the universe is that you're being grateful, that you are happy, that you are content. And what comes back? You are happy, you are content. You will bring in people that are happy, that are content, and things like that. But you know, I can talk to the hind legs off of a donkey around all those things. So, karma and ancestral. Now, when we decide to incarnate into this life, we decide a family line that we are going to incarnate into, right? So we have freedom of choice of where we end up, okay? We actually choose our ancestors and we choose our parents. Now, you might say to me, wow, Claire, there is no way I would have chosen my mother or my father or both of them, right? Yes, we do. Because we either need to pay back karmic debt, or we may need to clear the karmic hooks, locks, patterns in that ancestral line. I have actually seen people incarnate, gone through their records, and incarnate in the same family line that they were a previous far away back ancestor. All right, they keep choosing the same family line to incarnate into. Now, some of us have taken on oaths, vows, contracts, commitments, promises, and obligations to clear that karmic pattern in that ancestral line. This is what we're going to get into today. And that is because, so you might say to me, I wouldn't have chosen my parents, yeah, had a crap upbringing, and my mum was really narcissistic, right? You might say something along those lines. But actually you chose that because you're paying back karmic debt. There might be another reason. But also you might be the game changer. You might have taken on that challenge, right? Mission impossible, to be the game changer in that ancestral line and to heal it through all your different ancestors, including yourself if you're a far distant ancestor going all the way back. Okay, because you're doing things on a soul level. This is getting really quite spiritual practices here and understandings. So today we're going to look at helping you to clear an ancestral karmic pattern, right? It can go back to, like, say for instance, addiction. Addiction shows up a lot. So it can be like addiction to certain food. It can be addiction to, let's say, like gambling, to alcohol, to drugs, to, you know, other things that you could be addicted to, right? That can actually go back through the family line. So whatever it is that you feel that you know on an ancestral, on a genetic line, that there is this like karmic pattern that shows up. It could be oh God, like, unfortunately, it could be like a domestic violence type of situation, right? Where you might have escaped a domestic abusive relationship. You know, it could be mentally abusive, it could be physically abusive. I'm just going to use this. Oh my God, they get me to go deep today. Experience, right? But you know that your grandmother was in that same experience. You know your great grandmother was in that same experience, right? But you have come in this lifetime to actually heal that, clear it, because you don't want it to be going through to your daughter, your granddaughter, and stuff like that. I'm obviously tuning in to possibly someone on this call or whoever's going to see it. So that is like a karmic pattern that can show up through the ancestral line. It can be, you know, it can be as obscure and a bit off the beaten track as in, I'm tuning into someone else now. It's do you know what I mean when I talk about blue collar, white collar? So this is back in the days where you know, white collar jobs, I'm talking through the masculine line now, white collar jobs was someone that was, you know, well educated, may have been to university, and of a certain status in their career, where they were earning a certain price, you know, like a wage. And then blue collar going back through the ancestral line, was very much, you know, working class, got paid per hour and stuff like that. So it was blue collar, white collar. And I remember, like, even with my father, so he was in the fire brigade, and in the fire brigade, when you hit a certain level of like qualification, I'm talking like, you know, in the 80s this was, because I was still remember I was still quite young. I was born in 75. So I remember my dad, obviously he took more exams and got promotion, and he went from blue collar literally into white collar. And I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. When I was learning about different stuff around like money mindset, around that, around like the blue collar and the white collar, it was, you know, back in the day. So I obviously grew up in England, working class, okay, working class, lower class, middle class, and things like that. So, you know, that can be karma as well. I've worked a lot on money stuff around certain women, where the ancestral line, we're trapped into being paid per hour rather than being paid for like the transformation. So this is like when I work a lot with other like coaches and healers, and they are fixated on, you know, I can only charge that much per session, that much per hour. They're working on their hourly rate. I know from an ancestral point of view, I need to clear this blue collar, white collar stuff. And I literally see the blue collar and the white collar, and I, oh, that's what we need to work on, so that we can up level your self-worth. It comes down to self-worth, but it comes back through the ancestral line. So especially if people are wanting to step into being more the entrepreneur, right, it's a different calibre. Okay, so we need to clear all that old ancestral patterning that locks us into that type of mindset as well. So just wait and listen to, so everyone's sort of gathering what I'm on about. Okay, have a sip of tea. So, you know, our darling ancestors are here to teach us stuff, right? So we choose our ancestral line. And why do we choose that ancestral line? So what we do is, when we want to incarnate and we want to be in with those ancestors, okay, Becky, great, thanks. So when we want to choose our ancestors have lots of wisdom and knowledge that we want to pull on, right? So we have the DNA, the coding of our ancestors, right? And this made so much perfect sense when I use the analogy. I'm going to go back to my hairdressing days, where, you know, sometimes, you know, a child will be born into the family line, in the family tree, and this red curly hair comes from somewhere, and you say, oh, where's that red hair come from? Oh, you know, and you might jest and joke to the parents or the grandmother, right? I remember this happening in my family, right? And then like grandma goes, oh, second cousin married someone from Scotland, and that's where the red hair comes from. And obviously, you know, it's a bit of a throwback. It's come out through them, right? So when my son was born, I you know, I'm sort of dark hair, brunette with darker eyes. My brother, black hair, really dark eyes. My husband was dark hair, is pure white now, and very dark eyes. I thought, right, I would have this really dark haired little boy with dark eyes, you know, look sort of bit Italian-y sort of looking, even though we haven't got Italian in our family, but that sort of dark hair. So when Rory came out, he had a full head of hair, black hair, right? And obviously when a baby's born, their eyes are normally blue. And as time went on, I kept waiting for, you know, a few days, a few weeks for these eyes to change. Never changed. He's got like bluey green eyes. And I'm like, well, that's not right. That's weird. And then literally his hair, his dark hair grew out. It looked like a tint growing out. And it went gingery red. And then it went blondie, then it went really blonde, and I was like, and Andrew said, oh, I was a blonde when I was younger, but he lived in East Africa, so he would, like the sun and the sea, it would have lightened it. And I was like, where have I got this child from? Like, he really is, he's gone darker now. I was like, that's interesting. But with his eyes, like my dad has those coloured eyes. My mum has coloured eyes. Andrew's father had bluey eyes. But he didn't get the dark eyes from Andrew and me. You know, the genes are really, really interesting. And when I learned theta healing working on, you know, the ancestral and the genetic line, your cells, okay, so however your hair turns out, however the color of your eyes turn out, the color of your skin, right, whether you have freckles or not, is all through your DNA, it's all through your genetic line. But in your cells, in your genes, you have beliefs, what you believe. So if your ancestors believe that they can only be paid per hour, it will at some point be in you somewhere, right? But it can be triggered at different levels, income levels, where this can show up. So, you know, ancestral stuff is really, really interesting. Now, the reason that these beliefs might come into you, or you've got these beliefs, is because you need to clear something, whether you need to pay that karmic debt back, whether you need to heal something, and you also as a soul want to learn certain stuff. But your ancestors also have achieved a lot of stuff in their lifetime, right? And you might want to borrow that wisdom and knowledge for you in this lifetime. I'll give you an example. So my great grandfather on my dad's side was an amazing entrepreneur, amazing businessman, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 18. I can't work for people. I have to do my own thing, right? So I have been my own boss since I was 18. My grandfather on my mother's side, he had two businesses. He could manage multiple businesses. He had a sweet shop and tobacconist, and he also had a very successful hairdressing business. And my mum was a hairdresser. That's how it's come through. Okay, it's in the genes, in the genes. So I obviously incarnated into this lifetime because I know, and I did some research in this through the Akashic Records, right? Why did I choose this family line? And it was because I had a very strong paternal entrepreneur and I had a very strong maternal entrepreneur. And I was like, okay, so I've had it from both sides of the family and it has come into me. And actually, interestingly enough, when I look at my cousins, although one side, you know, they only had the channel side of the entrepreneur, like all my cousins that are like my sort of age group, all entrepreneurs. It's really, really interesting. They've all been their own business owners and had multiple businesses. So it's really quite interesting when you start to look at the ancestral line. So when we decide to come in, so when Claire decided she wanted to be here, right, I knew entrepreneur that side, winner, winner, chicken dinner, right? But because I wanted those codes, right, of just naturally being the entrepreneur, I also said I will help heal. So it's cause and effect. So it's a bit like a bargaining. What are you going to do if you have that? So it's a bit like that's what happens, right? I've seen all this play out. I said, right, I'm going to heal this through the ancestral line with me being here, but I want to borrow that coding. Does that make sense? It's quite interesting, all of this stuff. Hey, Adita. Hey, Wendy. So when we borrow some of the stuff, right, we get the good stuff, but we also take oaths, vows, contracts to clear certain stuff on the ancestral line. So it might have been the domestic violence, it might be the white collar, blue collar, time for money, self-worth, etc., and stuff like that, right? So we do take this stuff on. So today, when we go into the Akashic Records, and as I'm talking to you, right, I know your brains will be, oh, that makes sense. Oh, I can see where, okay, that ancestor of mine, and it might go really far back, but, you know, if you look at 1-2 generations back, that ancestor was really, my ancestor was really good at that. That ancestor was good at that. You might have had a grandmother that was just so kind and compassionate, that really led a beautiful ear to you, right? That really held space. And then you're really good at holding space for people. You might have had a grandmother that was so wise and made the most delicious food and really created a loving home, right? You might have borrowed all of that wisdom and knowledge for her, and you do the same thing for your children, right? You might have had a grandmother or a mother or a great grandmother that was the most beautiful doting wife, and you've become the most beautiful doting wife. You know, it doesn't always mean that you're going to be entrepreneurs and business owners. You know, in your lifetime, you might that might be what your soul purpose is to raise a beautiful family. That might be what your soul purpose and life purpose is, right? So, you know, we can borrow all this really good stuff, but we also have taken contracts to heal stuff through the ancestral line, if that makes sense. Okay, is there any questions so far? And is anyone sort of it sparking ideas of, yeah, that, yeah. So I want you to think of like some of the good stuff that's come through the ancestral line and some of the not so good stuff that has come through the ancestral line, because we're gonna do whatever you've made a commitment to go and change through the ancestors. We're gonna look and do that today. So that's the great thing with Theta, right? I know I love my Akashics. Akashics are great for wisdom and knowledge, for understanding patterns and things. Yeah, it is interesting. But Theta healing is what's really good, because you're working on all the different 4 levels. So you're working on clearing stuff on the soul level, clearing stuff on the ancestral level, and clearing stuff on the genetic level, and clearing stuff in you in the here and now. So Theta actually works on 4 different levels. It's a very, very powerful modality. So if you ever have a Theta healing session, you know, you will hear the Theta healer practitioner say, let's clear it on all levels. So those 4 levels, all levels, all aspects. So all the aspects is all your different types of personalities, all levels, all aspects, all timelines. So all like different timelines, different, you know, things like that, different timelines. And in between timelines, so all levels, all aspects, all timelines, and all dimensions. All right, so Theta, we make the command that we clear it on everything. We're not just clearing you in this lifetime, okay? Because you bring things in from other lifetimes to clear, and you bring things in on the cellular level and the DNA. So that's a great thing about Theta. Okay, right, are we ready to do a bit of a journey? I think I've spoken enough. Let's see what we need to clear through the ancestral line. Now, depending on whether you are clearing it on a spiritual, mental, physical, emotional body, you might clear it on all those different aspects of you. Okay, different multidimensional parts of you, not aspects, multidimensional parts of you. You might feel things in your body, all right, that it's shifting and clearing, right? You might feel that this is clearing like physically by going to the loo. So you might pee and you might poop, okay? Just so you know. If you're feeling it through the emotional body, right, you're going to feel it clearing through emotion. So you'll be like, oh, that feels really heavy. Oh, what does that feel like? Oh, that feels like a bit of grief. Oh, that feels like, oh, it feels like that. So you might feel things clearing on the emotional body. So we've talked about physical. You might feel that you actually want to move your body, right? So that's why somatic stuff is so popular now. You know, you've even got yoga. Have I said somatic right? Is it somatic? It's either somatic or somatic. I think it might be somatic. That's the dyslexia in me. What I think and what I say sometimes is 2 different things. That's because I'm quite a good channel, and it was my maiden name. So exercise is really good. So you might feel after this that you actually want to move your body. You might actually feel through the healing that you want to move your body. So don't restrain it, right? Sometimes like I'm like, oh, I've got to get that off because it's all stuck on my shoulders. Yeah, I can feel it in my ankles. I feel it in my wrists. So if you want to move your body, because you're just moving energy from your physical body because it's trapped in the physical. So emotional, spiritual, you might see things from a spiritual point of view through different chakra points. You might actually see pictures, or you might know pictures, depends what your psychic sense is, of like ancestors wearing funny clothes. It just means that it's showing you, you know, how far back. It might be something from the 1800s, the 1700s, you know, the different types of costumes. You might see the big pompy wigs, you know, like the Bridgerton days and stuff like that, right? That, you know, that does come through. Your ancestors can step in front of you. You can go into the Akashic Records and you can actually see all your ancestors there going like this. Yay! Because they know that you've made this promise and you've come in to bloody clear this vow of poverty or something like that could be there. So however you witness or feel this healing, or you might just have this real sense of knowing of, yeah, I know that, I know it's gone. Like, I have a real strong sense of knowing. So sometimes I can walk out of a healing session on me and I can witness everything, especially when I'm doing group stuff. And I just like, yeah, I know it's been taken care of. Yeah, done. Yeah, it's done. I know. I've got this strong, you know, no. Okay, so just in your mind's eye, we're going to be opening up your Akashic Records. We will, if you jump off the call, right, before it finishes, the live, please state out loud that you close your Akashic Records. I will make sure that I close them down after you, but please close your Akashic Records down. I'll invite you to witness that we are going into your Akashic Records and nobody else's, okay? And we want to go and set the intention. So we're setting the intention now that we want to clear and pay back a karmic lock pattern debt that is ready to be paid back, that is actually causing you an issue at this present moment in time because it hasn't been addressed. Okay, so when you're ready, I invite you to close your eyes. Please don't be driving. Please make sure that you're in a place where you can really listen and tune in. So I'm going to invite you to listen to my voice as your guide, getting all the love hearts. And I want you to imagine that you're sitting up nice and straight. So your back is really upright. Okay. I don't want you laying down falling asleep because I feel like some of you might actually zonk out. And just taking some nice, long, slow, deep breaths in and out. Okay, and just allowing that oxygen to come into your body. And as that oxygen comes into your body, it starts to tickle all the cells of your body. So we're going to wake up your cells, all your atoms and all your molecules. Because don't forget, your beliefs and all, from the ancestral and genetic line are stored within your cells. So breathing in all that life force energy, all that oxygen, and it's going to start to tickle your ATP, your life force energy within your own body. So all your cells will start to dance and sing and start to feel energized. So we're just going to wake things up and shake things up. And we're going to put you in a bubble of divine white light. We're going to call in Archangel Metatron. And we're going to call in Archangel Azrael, so the angel of death, because we're going to clear stuff. Okay, so just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And I want you to imagine silver roots are coming out through the soles of your feet, all the way down through the earth. Now, as they go through the earth, they're going to connect in with your Earth Star chakra. And this is where all your ancestral records are held, in this Earth Star chakra. Now, I know that I've got different people that are into different types of modalities, so I'm picking up different ways for us to do this cleansing and clearing. So like with Metatron, he works through the Akashic Records. Some people are really into angels, so we're working with the angels. We're working with the chakra points. Some of you are really into chakra energy healing, so we're working through the ancestral realm through that. So just allow those silver roots to go all the way down through to the center of the earth. You're going to connect in with beautiful crystal. Okay, so they're showing me it's actually a pyrite crystal. Plug yourself into that crystal. So some of you like crystal energy to heal you. And you're going to pull that energy, earth energy, crystalline energy, all the way up through the earth. So anything that you've bound yourself in through the ancestral realms, we're going to ask for that to be brought up for us and presented to you. Okay, so some of you might feel a book being placed in your hands, any contracts. Okay, and just bringing all that energy up to the top of your head. And then as that energy comes up through the top of your head, this white waterfall comes spilling out, cleansing and clearing your energy field. Okay, so we're connected into the earth. We've got the angelic realm. We've got the divine white light all around you. So I want you to imagine that there's this portal of light opening up in front of your third eye. And it's a beautiful, like an indigo, purpley, violet light. And just command that this portal of light gets bigger and bigger, bigger and bigger. And it mirrors your whole body size. And you can see Archangel Metatron and Azrael standing at the front of this portal of violet light. And they're standing there with great big torches, flame torches. And they're inviting you now to step into that magic portal of light. And as you walk through that portal of light, at the end, when you get to the end, because you've walked through the universe, the multiverse, through all the different layers and realms, all the bright lights and the dark lights, you'll see a doorway, a big old wooden door, shut in front of you. And as you look closely at that door, you will see your full name now inscribed. And if you have a different name from birth, your full name at birth will be underneath, your date of birth and your place of birth. And with your right finger, you follow the carving. So it's carved into the wood with golden etching. So you follow your finger like you're reading Braille. And as you get to the end of your place of birth, you reach into your pocket, pull out a golden key, put it into the lock. As it clicks, the door starts to open and you step inside into your Akashic record room. Now, as you step in, you might witness that there are different ancestors in front of you. You might feel them as energy, you might just know, you might sense, you might see. And you're invited to sit at the table, this big, old oak table. And as you sit on that beautiful, crushed red velvet chair, you can see a beautiful candle, a white candle to your right. You can see a pen and paper. Some of you might see a feather quill and an ink pot. But in front of you appears the sacred contract that you made to heal, cleanse, clear this ancestral karmic lock. Pattern, situation, whether it's spiritual, mental, physical, emotional. So I want you to imagine, so see, sense, feel, know, listen with your whole being as you read that contract. What does it say? What do you know? What does it feel like? What do you sense? What do you need to clear? What did you promise? What did you obligate yourself in? And as your ancestors gather round, they're really looking at you, at the contract, back at you, back at the contract. And we're just going to let all the pennies drop. And how far back is this contract? How many generations back? And what are you learning from this? How's it affecting your life? And if this information doesn't drop in straight away, let's set the intention that the information comes through within the next 48 hours as well. And how many names have signed this contract? So let's just first of all give you courage, that you know how to have courage. You know what it feels like, that it's safe and possible for you to clear this contract, to clear this karmic pattern on the ancestral line. What do you need to stop doing in your life to either uphold this contract? Some of you might actually need to uphold this contract. Some of you might need to dissolve it. So is there anything that you need to stop doing? And is there anything that you need to start doing? So I really feel like with some of you, you need to really start believing in yourself. That it's safe and possible to really have a higher self-opinion of yourself. Like real self-worth. It's like you keep coming up to this self-worth and then it just dissolves, and then you come up again with this self-worth, it dissolves. But it's really like you need to really have a stronger opinion of yourself, your real self-worth. What you will and what you won't tolerate. Okay, a real strong sense of self-identity. Let's just bring that in. So whether this contract needs dissolving, you're going to let it now burn in that candle on your right hand side. And some of you need to uphold this contract. So do you need to sign your name under this contract? Some of you might need to burn one, some of you might need to sign it as well. I know that's what's coming through for me. It's like burning an old and signing a new. And what do you need to start doing? What's the aligned action from this? I feel like some of you need to really start to be aware of changing your habits and patterns. So some of you, it might be like speaking up more confidently. Some of you, I feel like you need to do some boundary work. Some of you, it's about putting yourself in the center of the universe and understanding that you are the most important person in your life. Okay, good. Okay, when you stand up from the table, I want you to really honor and celebrate your ancestors. Thank them for the wisdom and the knowledge that they've given you. You might even find an ancestor gives you a gift. You might find multiple ancestors are giving you gifts. And just accept them gracefully. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to start to walk out, walk to the door. And I want you to close the door behind you. Use your golden key, lock it down, and you say, I now close my Akashic Records, please. And you're going to start to walk back through that purple portal of light with your flaming torch all the way back through. And I want you to imagine now you're stepping back into your body. And you can see that purple light start to get smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller, till it just disappears. Now I want you to just bring beautiful divine energy through the crown of your head, top of your head, and just let this beautiful divine white light come in. So this universal divine creator light coming through, just cleansing and clearing all your cells, atoms, molecules, all your DNA. So just doing a nice theta cleansing. Just cleansing and clearing on all levels, aspects, timelines and dimensions. Thank you, it's done, it's done, it's done. So it is. So we're just finishing that off. Okay, and we're just going to teach you what it feels like to be free. Free of the past, free of the old contracts, the obligations, the karmic locks, hooks, patterns. Knowing that this has been healed. Okay, I'm going to teach you what it feels like to actually be free from all of this. That it's safe and possible. and that you can know how you can live your daily life without these tethers and ties. Okay, let's just expand your energy out through the room that you're in, the building that you're in, further and further out. Okay, and just breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. And in your own time, open your eyes. Okay, let me know in the chat how that was for you. I must admit, I had some beautiful gifts from my ancestors. I was given this beautiful little old-fashioned silver teaspoon. One of my ancestors gave me a very chic scarf, you know, like the scarf you tie around your neck and then you do a beautiful bow. So I was given this very glamorous scarf, the teaspoon. I was given a key. I was given deeds and titles, which was really interesting. Deeds to a castle. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But actually, I have got Scottish heritage, so that, because that was actually a lot of the healings that I did, land titles and stuff like that, which I know that is in my family history, because my ancestors were part of the Scottish rebellion at Culloden with Bonnie Prince Charlie. So they actually had their land taken off them by the English. And I know through the ancestors, my uncles and everything like that, they talk about this a lot. So it was really interesting being given energetically these deeds and titles back. So I am a bit of a history geek. I do love a bit of history, but yes, very interesting. Let me know, did you get any gifts? But yeah, I loved. Oh, and then I was given a book on reading tea leaves, so that would have come through from my grandmother because she used to read the tea leaves. Oh, you were given a huge sack full of gifts. A babe. You were given a baby. A bird in a cage, a white ball. I had to drag it. It's like all your Christmases coming at once. So you could actually Google some of this stuff, right? What does a bird in a, like a spiritual meaning of a bird in a cage, you know? Because I'm a bit geeky like that when it comes to, oh, what would that mean? What does that mean? And stuff like that. Get out the door. Hey, Kate. So this will come down later, and then it will go and be put onto my YouTube channel as well. Yeah, you can do this. You can do this multiple times. I wouldn't literally do it back to back to back to back, in all fairness. But I would, when you feel the intuitive hit of, I feel like I need to do that. I feel like I need to do that. In all fairness, when I started getting into a lot of this spiritual practice and really understanding, obviously I'd done the courses, right? But you know, for me to, like, I put myself on a bit of an apprenticeship. So what I would do back in the day was I'd use my pendulum, right? And I would tune in to my angels and guides, and I'd be like, okay, I know I want to do a healing. What type of healing do I feel is going to benefit me at this time, right? Or I'd be like, I've got this issue. What type of healing is going to benefit me in that, right? And I would literally get my pendulum and it would say yes. Okay, so it understands the question. And I'd be like looking down, say for instance, my YouTube channel, or it might be you've got some of my paid programs. So you'd look down my paid programs and I'd like put my finger on it and go, right, am I healing the Divine Mother wound? No. Am I healing boundaries? No. Am I healing ancestral karma? Am I healing that? And I'd wait for my pendulum to say yes, right? And it might be a really random healing. It might be, well, I've got this issue, but they're telling me to do like something really left of field, but I'd still do that healing because I know I trust them that healing is going to help me in that area, if that makes sense. So it might be, you know, oh, let me just pick up an instance. Okay, I need to do a healing because I feel sad and I've got grief. What healing do I need to do? And it might be, okay, you need to clear the ancestral because you've actually got that needs looking at. Fell asleep. So to do again, I knew someone was going to fall asleep. Oh, D. Um, so that's how I first started, right? That's how I first started really getting into self-healing, was really connecting in with my angels and my guides, creator, because I said it was my first thing, so it was always creator. Creator, what is the best healing for me to do at this time, right? And sometimes I would just be like, okay, I'm going to leave it to you. Whatever you feel is gonna help me. It was like Dee came in for her session yesterday, her Akashic session, and she said, I'm just going to trust you. And sometimes that's the best healing. The best healings to have is when you go in with no set agenda as such, and you allow the divine to do magic on you as such. Yeah, yes, you can do any of these. That's why I record these healings, right? And put them on the YouTube and in the group, is so that you've got a great library to go back to, right? But doing the pendulum and asking which one I should do that's going to help me, or what is good for me at this time, and then do that one. 100%. 100%. It's like you know, Wendy, I know you were part of the Lionsgate. You can go and do that Lionsgate healing, multiple manifestations and healings multiple times. 100%. I wouldn't do them day after day after day after day, um, but you know, as and when you feel called. Meditation is different, all right? So you can do meditation multiple times each day, especially if you're doing re-imprinting. So say for instance you were given a meditation. I know a lot of my clients, you know, they want to call in more clients, like my healing clients want to call in more clients. So they'll listen to my meditation on magnetizing me to call in soul clients. I've got some clients that are working on self-love and self-worth. So they'll listen to my self-love, self-worth meditation every single day, because it's re-imprinting it's hypnosis. It's re-imprinting you, what your belief systems are. You can actually do re-imprinting without doing healing. It's better to do both, in all fairness, because the healing is about the completion of stuff, and then the re-imprinting, the meditation, is what your new belief system is now. Okay, so you just had it. Yeah, I didn't really see anyone that I knew. I just knew there was lots of people there. 100%. Oh, Cara, I saw my grandma and auntie. I received an embroidered cotton handkerchief and a butterfly. Oh, that's lovely. It's lovely when you get gifts, isn't it? From them. I've been doing different meditation from Lionsgate, healings or clearings. Clearings are different, I understand that. Yeah, yeah. So with healings, you should really, ideally, if you're working on the same issue, so say for instance you're doing healings on a certain particular thing. So say for instance you're doing healings around, let's use weight loss. I'm doing healings around my weight loss. You actually want to leave the healings at least 21 days. Okay, that's why we did that incarnate. I know you weren't doing weight loss with you, Wendy, but we did that incantation for 21 days. So you actually want to leave things for 21 days before you do a healing on your weight loss again, because you need to embody and change your patterns and your programs. But for instance, like I have some private clients and we do sessions fortnightly, but we're working on different things. So it's got that time to embody and make the changes before we might need to readdress it. So it might be like I've got a client that wants to work on weight loss, but wants to work on love, but also wants to bring in like money for a business. So we'll go through the different pillars of what we want to work on, but we might not come back to weight loss until like 6 sessions in, because I need to see whether her patterns and behaviors have changed around food before I do another healing. And this is where I see sometimes that healings can actually cancel each other out. So, you know, I've seen over the years with working with other healers, like and mentoring them, they keep digging on the same thing, especially in third eye. It's like I'm working on my money, I'm working on my money, I'm working on my money, and they dig and dig and dig around this one like issue, and they just keep going over, because they in their belief system, what they're doing is, because they keep working on that same thing, they believe that that healing hasn't occurred, right? Because they're still digging on it, they're still wanting to fix it, wanting to fix it, wanting to fix it. Whereas actually what you want to do is like do the healing, say for instance on money, and then go and look at something else and work on that. And that was one of the things I did in this round of unleashing, was every 3 weeks, right? So everything was set for 3 weeks. We did more around, we've done more through the Akashics on this money round, but we're looking at different themes. So, you know, we've gone lower astral energies, curses, soul wounds. So they've got different, although it's still money, but we've left it 3 weeks, we're still working on different like elements of the clearing. But yeah, the in all fairness, the worst thing you can do is just pick one theme and just keep digging on it, clearing it, because you're not giving yourself time to recalibrate your new belief systems and take action on that, if that makes sense. Okay, right. Have a lovely, super day. This will come down and go on to the YouTube channel. Don't forget, on the YouTube channel, please like, subscribe and share, comment, because I really want to grow it. It's growing and more people are watching my stuff, so it's amazing getting these healings. Please invite people into the group as well. You know, we're starting to really build out this community. We have great fun. Don't forget, I am in Melbourne. Wendy, I'm in Melbourne. I'm coming down and I will be in Melbourne for private clients. So if anybody wants to have a face-to-face session with me, private clients are going to be being booked out now. I've only got a couple of appointments left. I've got the 12th and the 13th. So if you actually want to have a session with me face-to-face, you can. And then we have the Align and Shine gathering in Melbourne on the 14th of September. Venue to be confirmed, but it's going to be in the Bayside area, sort of Brighton-y area. I'm still looking for venues to gather us. I need to know whether people are coming, because I need to make sure that I have enough space for everybody. So that is what is happening in there. And I'm in Sydney. I'm looking at Sydney for November. Pleasure, Becky. Oh, you'll be hopping onto YouTube now. Yeah, no problem. Schedule one in. You know what my website is. I think most people follow the links. It's just my name, .com.au. So yes, there we go. So lots of love. I am organising the Brisbane one as well. I'm just facilitating the dates. Hey Nicole, nice to see you again. All right, my loves, take care, and I will see you all next week. Lots of love.